for-profits are not new. What is new is this dominance of a Wall Street or corporate-owned or shareholder-owned model for delivering higher education, particularly higher education at the degree level.
I found actually not very many differences between a state school and a private nonprofit school in their approaches to things, but there were differences in the for-profits. The culture is very different. It definitely is. There's a more corporate feel to it. The priorities are different.
So it was not about what was right for the individual. It was about getting them through the door. They used to call it asses in classes, and that's the way they looked at it. It was a head count. It was nothing more than that. It wasn't about the benefit of the student. It was about bottom line.
We're told, actually, the phrase "always be closing" was told to us, which, I mean, we've heard that before, right? That's in a movie. But it was totally unironic, not joking, always be closing. Students are referred to as leads. Never give the full price. Like when you're taking them on the campus tour online while you're on the phone with them, you have a tuition screen and you say our credit is $500 per credit hour. Each class is 3 credit hours. And then you immediately divert them some way. Look at this class list. Which one are you most excited about taking? Tell me about that.
Well, the cost of tuition and fees at for-profit institutions are unequivocally high across the board, less than 2-year, 2-year, and 4-year institutions when you compare them against nonprofits and against public institutions.
I've never been one to sugarcoat it, and in my experience as both a consumer and now an advocate, honestly, I feel that they're an elaborate corporate scam to funnel as many government Pell Grants and guaranteed loans out of the students as they can and leave them with the bill.
Nothing being done here is criminal. It ought to be. It isn't. You know why? Because they wrote the law.
The overwhelming majority of their income is taxpayer finance, does come from federal student loans. So we're essentially fronting the money and eventually paying for most of their efforts to lobby against our best interests and against the best interests of the students. And it's really, I don't know, can I say the balls that they have? It's incredible.
Then what are the students getting for what they're paying? If we look at the 4-year sector, I'll just share some facts here about what they are getting. Students are getting a 1 in 5 chance to graduate. They're getting a 95% likelihood that they will have to take out a loan, 57% chance of ending up with more than $30,000 in debt, and a 1 in 5 chance to default on their student loans within the first 3 years from when they start repayment. So again, very high cost and questionable value from the standpoint of the students.
In broad terms, we are looking at graduation rates that hover in the 20% range for the for-profits. Compare that to 60+% for private nonprofits and almost 60% for public institutions.
If you're talking to a recruiter on the phone, the best thing you can say is, please put me on your do not call list. Simply don't talk to them. It's not a good deal.
We're seeing this decrease for support for nonprofits, this embrace of a for-profit model at a time where we really should be thinking about what the value of education is and where our money should be going. It should be going to institutions that are helping us, whose primary mission, right, is to help us advance as a society rather than to maximize the bottom line at the end of the day.